Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mike for Sim Racing 604. Welcome back to my very humble garage. Just wanted to do a video log for you guys today. There's been a bit of movement in the sim racing world in the past week or so, or week or two, I guess, and so I just wanted to do a quick update. These are things that probably don't warrant their own video, so I wanted to do just a quick catch up with you guys and browse the web a little bit and talk some sim racing. So we will start out with the FeelVR. So as I'm sure you guys have heard, the FeelVR is the $400 direct drive wheel. Pardon me, I will turn that phone off. It is direct drive wheel. The branding is FeelVR, and as you can see on your screen, everything here, you know, the direct drive chassis, and apparently the electronics are mounted in this. There's just cables coming out the back, and it's a rather cheap wheel. This wheel is available for about $30, but you get the button box with it. Everything you see here was, and I've heard varying stories that it's going up now, but it was available at one time for $400 US, which puts it at a price point of about 1/3 the price you might pay for an AccuForce or an OSW, something like that. Too good to be true? Probably. So let's talk about the FeelVR a bit more. The reason I'm bringing this up now is because right here, we intend to launch the product late February into March. Today is February 27th, 2018, so we're just about due to have this thing drop, and I wanted to just give my take on this wheel. So not a bad looking wheel overall. The colors are what they are, but I think all in all, for what you would expect to pay, this is a very nice looking wheel. So we will skip right down. So this is the one that is touted at about $400 US. I saw somebody post on Reddit yesterday that it's now going for $600 estimated retail, and then this $100. I'm going to guess by the time you get your hands on it, it's going to be in the $200 to $300 mark for 3 pedals with a load cell brake. And all in, I don't know what this package is worth, but I'm going to say that's going to push $1,000 by the time it hits market. And they do give technical specs, but in very, very vague terms. They did mention at one point, where's the load cell non-linear brake pedal, that it was going to be 55 kilograms, which is a good mark, and the direct drive here of the wheel would be about 7 times what you'd expect your T500 to be. So quite a strong direct drive wheel. So we get down into the frequently asked questions here. Why do you have such an affordable price? It's a very, very loaded question. Now, the big takeaway for me is we have built everything from the ground up with affordability in mind. If you replace the word affordability with price, it's much, much less of a selling point. Okay, if somebody told you they built a car with price in mind from the ground up, you would be thinking, well, they cut corners and got the cheapest parts. And I think that's what you might be getting here. So I don't mean to be negative towards FeelVR. I certainly hope it works out. I legitimately do. I hope this is a game changer and people can have access to a direct drive wheel and load cell pedals for half of what you would typically expect to pay. Now, my take, and I work in business from 9 to 5, and I know a few things about procurement and purchasing and things like that. And what I can tell you is very few kind of miracles happen in the world of pricing. Okay, so we have OSW and AccuForce that are, you know, approximately on the same price point, and they're higher than your, you know, belt-driven wheels, which tend to be higher than your gear-driven wheels, etc., etc. Okay, so there's kind of a logical scale there, and for somebody to make a product that is apparently going to come down under the price of a belt-driven wheel, quite frankly, it's extremely, extremely rare in the world of business, okay? Other than maybe fashion, you get very few instances where somebody can bring something to market for considerably less. This is, you know, 50 to 70% less than you would expect to pay for a direct drive wheel. So what's going on here? How is it so cheap? Well, I quite frankly don't know. And like I said, go for it. I hope it works out. I legitimately do. But I think I will sum up my feelings towards the FeelVR with this last question here. Seems too good to be true. Hopefully we'll have video reviews by enthusiastic and professional sim racers. That would be my advice to you. I would say don't be an early adopter of the FeelVR. I think it could be too good to be true. And I think probably, you know, Jimmy Broadbent and Sim Racing Paddock and Inside Sim Racing will probably get their hands on this thing in the coming weeks, months, and let them try it out. Okay, because my feeling is they've either cut corners on the product to the point that it's not going to be as good. It might have reliability issues, things like that, or they've cut corners on the kind of software end of things and compatibility. Will it be able to run with Assetto Corsa iRacing, that kind of thing? We'll see. We'll see. And again, I'm not trying to be negative. I hope it does work out, but my opinion of it is wait for kind of the bigger name sim racing channels to get their hands on it. They're probably going to get it for free. Let them test drive it. If they love it, by all means, go for it, and welcome to the world of direct drive. It's really awesome, as is load cell. But I would say hold off on the FeelVR until that time. That is strictly my opinion, of course, but that's kind of my vibe right now. Moving on from FeelVR to another thing, and I am sim racing channel number 147 would be my guess, to give my take on Assetto Corsa Competizione. And yes, that is a Canadian butchery of the Italian language. I apologize about that. The Competizione is the new offering from Assetto Corsa's developer, Kunos, and what they're going to do is bring this sometime in summer of 2018, so probably July, August would be my guess, probably August into September, given the you know, sort of track record of software developers. It's probably going to push a little bit, but it's basically a GT3 exclusive game at this point, sim. So, you know, there's been some kind of mixed reactions to this. You know, why is it only GT3? It's running, actually, I'll kind of parse this out, but where is it? So they mentioned that it is... I probably should have done my homework. I apologize about this. Anyway, it's running on the Unreal Engine 4. Okay, oh, there we go. Unreal Engine 4 guarantees photorealistic rendering and accurate representation of scenarios, car materials, and weather conditions. So they've changed the back-end engine, okay, and people are concerned that they're going to change their physics engine. I don't know that you can necessarily conflate the two. I think, and it's speculation, I don't work for Kunos or anything like that, but given what I've read here, and I think I did see an interview actually, they are merely using Unreal Engine 4 for the graphics, and they'll continue to put forth their, you know, great physics, car physics from the previous offering of Assetto Corsa. And a lot of people were expecting Assetto Corsa 2, and I know drifters are kind of bummed out about this because there's nothing to indicate there will be any drift features in Assetto Corsa Competizione. So that's kind of, you know, the people who are concerned about this. People are concerned about the Unreal Engine and people who drift. However, for me, a guy who enjoys driving GT3, and I know a lot of you enjoy driving GT3 as well, I think it's going to be very cool. I think when they kind of narrow the focus, okay, if they take it away from, you know, bonus packs and Ferrari updates and things like that, and just dial in on having, you know, let's say their GT3 offering extends to 15 cars or something like that, or a dozen cars, or 20 cars, whatever it may be. If they focus on getting those cars darn near perfect, if they get some GT3 drivers on board, you know, how are the physics, and get this thing really dialed in. They have the laser scan tracks already, so it could be a great offering. I'm actually excited about this. This for me will be a day one buy without question, but I understand the concerns of drifters, and I understand those who, you know, are concerned about Assetto Corsa losing its great physics. But the Blancpain, another Canadian butchery of a European language, but the Blancpain GT3 series will be featured in this game, and most notably, as you can see here, rain and night. So that's going to be very cool. If you're saying to yourself, well, I can build this game with base content and a few mods, yeah, you probably could. You probably could, but my feeling is that Kunos, and I have a lot of respect for Kunos, I think they're a good game developer. I think they will go all out with this, and I think this is going to be fantastic. I just think it's going to be a great offering, and like I said, it's going to be a day one purchase for me. And I think a telling sign, this screenshot here that I will show you, that to me is life. It's beautiful. It's awesome. You know, the reflections, the rain, the lights. It's just a great looking game. So I can't wait. We got 6 months to go until this comes out or so. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that. Very, very excited, I for one. Okay, moving on then. Console updates. So thank you to AssettoCorsa.net for this. The consoles recently got their updates. Oh, that's just coincidence that I have the same picture at the top of the screen. Anyway, the consoles got their Assetto Corsa updates, and you now have access to these 7 bonus pack cars, as well as Laguna Seca. So welcome to that. It's been not that long time coming. I think it was the Ferrari update that took a really long time to make it to console. This one's not too bad. The highlights for me so far are the Giulia Quadrifoglio, the 33 Stradale, and to some extent the Huayra BC. It's a concept car, take it or leave it. Sesto Elemento I haven't had that much fun with. Huracan Performante, yeah, it's pretty good. And the Quattroporte I haven't really done much with, but you're getting some cool cars there. If nothing else, spend some time with the Giulia Quadrifoglio. I really love that car, and Laguna Seca is fantastic. You don't have to look far on YouTube to see people driving Assetto Corsa at Laguna Seca. It looks really great. So console players, welcome, welcome, welcome to Bonus Pack 3. You will enjoy it. Project Cars 2 as well got an update for console. Thank you to gtplanet.net for this update. So what is the update? It's patch 4.0, and for some reason PS4 they're calling it 4.01. I don't know what the difference is between 4.01 and 4.00, but I'm sure the base content is still there. So Project Cars 2 did get the major update to PS4 and Xbox One, so very, very cool. What is in this update, you ask? Just this, which I will now read out and explain line by line. No, I will not. That's a huge, huge update. I did a video about this, guys. I kind of tried to highlight the top improvements. You're welcome to watch that video in my video post history, but just know that everything's changed for the good, and it's at this point a fantastic sim. So enjoy, console players. And finally, guys, wrapping this one up, RaceSim Studio, my favorite modding team, announced just this morning actually fairly major update. So what you're looking at here is the, what are they gonna call it here? It's obviously a Lamborghini, the Lanzo. They're calling it the Lanzo V12. So it's obviously the Lambo V12. Yeah, it's looking cool. This is part of the GT pack. So if you bought the GT pack previously, they offered you 6 cars, and this is they gave us 3 initially a couple months ago, and now the 4th car is coming. This is the Lanzo V12. But it was not just that. They also announced this, Formula Hybrid 2018. So the Formula Hybrid, for those not aware, came as a PC mod for Assetto Corsa and was the first to market, I believe, with a 2017 spec Formula 1 car, albeit in unofficial licensing, and they're doing the same for 2018. So it looks like they're quite far along in the physical design. I don't imagine the physics would have to change too much, but you can see the notable addition there is this halo. So good job there. It's looking very cool. Now, I do have one small issue with them developing the 2018. Okay, they're going to sell a lot of units of this, believe me, because they will beat, Codemasters bringing F1 2018 to market or anything like that. And certainly I think before any of the major sims add a 2018 spec Formula 1 car and official content, they will be first to market. They're going to sell a lot of these. However, it looks like they've put on hold something they announced back in September. So back in September, when they first announced the GT pack, they also announced the Formula V10, and it's kind of gone by the wayside because they've been focusing on the GT cars, which are fantastic, don't get me wrong. But I was also excited about this Formula V10. So this was it in concept, and I had really hoped this made it to market, but it just didn't get, as far as I can tell, any further than this. And like I said, I think they're probably going to shift their focus to this. The reason being is, again, they will sell more units than they would of the V10, in my opinion. So hopefully they don't put that on the back burner for too long. But either way, I am excited about the 2018 spec Formula 1 car coming to Assetto Corsa. Also on this update, there's the Lanzo V12 there, work in progress, but we should have it, I would guess, by tomorrow or Thursday, which is March 1st. And it is looking very cool indeed. And then we also have the Shadow V8, which is obviously your Celine, which is looking amazing. Take the whole, I guess it's the rear hood there, housing that big V8. So yeah, that Celine is a work in progress. Hopefully we'll have that in the next couple of months. And then the Ferruccio, we already have the Ferruccio 55, and now is the 57. So obviously the Ferrari 575. Hope I have that number right. So it looks to be very far along in development. So excited to see those last 3 cars. And they couldn't have said it better. Last but not least, rFactor 2. So RaceSim Studio is making the crossover to rFactor 2. Hooray! I think that's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing, because the physics of their cars are phenomenal. They really are. And in my opinion, rival that of official content as much as any other sim team, or better. And so I'm excited to have it come to rFactor 2. Am I surprised? Yes, I didn't even know that was a consideration for them. Assetto Corsa, most likely, based on what I've seen for sales, is a much bigger market for them, but they're going rFactor 2 as well, and I don't know what that conversion process is. Maybe it's a simple process that's only going to take them a few days or weeks, based on the official content they've already, based on the content they've already released. So either way, excited to have that. And that is going to do it, guys. So kind of in summary, the FeelVR, I'm excited for it. I hope it succeeds, but just to my fans that are, to my subscribers and viewers that are considering buying it, hold off for the big name YouTube channels to get their hands on it. Let them drive it. They will likely not have to pay a penny, and you'll probably get a good opinion on how it feels. How it drives. And yeah, if it's great, go on. Good for you. Direct drive and load cell are something I really enjoy, and I hope you get your hands on it as well. Next up, what did we talk about? Assetto Corsa Competizione. Excited. Very excited. Can't wait for that to drop. Let's see. The console updates. Welcome to version 1.4 of Project Cars 2, and also welcome to Bonus Pack 3 for console users for Assetto Corsa. Oh, I didn't touch on this, but in the next couple of days we should have an update for Gran Turismo Sport as well, with 12 new cars, something like that. So that's very exciting. And finally, RaceSim Studio, my favorite mod team currently, are out there crushing it, and they are going to be first to market with a 2018 Formula 1 car for Assetto Corsa. And we have 3 new GT cars, very close to finished by the looks of things, and some rFactor 2 cars coming. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.